Yes. Brian? Mr. Rose?
Here.
Mr. January? Ms. Kaufman?
Present.
Mr. Fagan?
Here.
Mr. Winters? Mr. Moon?
Here.
Mr. Flowers? And Mr. Cook?
Here.
Okay, we do have quorum. We can proceed.
Okay, so now that we have a quorum, are there any public comments? Okay, no public comments. We'll take discussion and possibly action to approve.
Oh, here we go.
Hang on, our chairman's coming in. We can look over, you guys can look over the minutes from the August 15th, 2023 regular meeting while he gets signed in, and then he can take over.
Oh, Brian.
Hey, how are you guys?
You're good.
Always a little fashionably late.
We're just on item number 4. We're looking over the minutes.
Okay. You guys had a chance to look?
Yes, sir.
Entertain a motion?
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
I second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Thanks, Jamie. For temporary.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want to push through?
No, go right ahead.
Okay, number 5 on the list is discussion on golf fees. I know that you had mentioned this.
I had, I think it's about time, I think the last one, when I found that that had been, had been visited for about 5 years. Just want to see your all's feeling, if we should push forward, in my opinion, we should, to kind of get it out there and discuss it, and maybe come back for the next meeting to have a recommendation to go to city council.
The
Yeah.
question I have is, are the daily green fees and cart rentals going to go up? I noticed the memberships all went up. But what about the daily fees are not on there?
Yeah, true. They're on another fee schedule that everybody's looking at.
Okay.
But as you see, you're right. Airport looks good this year. Everything's kind of stepped up a little bit. I feel like concessions, your peers that we're holding our own a little bit. What I really wanted, well, that piece of paper I got out there, I tried something this year I've never done in over 40 years. Historically, we subsidize or transfer in money to the golf course. We're looking at everything transfer payments. I just wanted to show the general public, you really don't have to do transfers in. Well, next couple of months, we're going to have to transfer in some, but a lot of it's got to do with good communication with Matthew and Jeff out of the golf course and them watching their expenditures and I guess a decent golf course, keeping it pretty, this, that, and the other. So there is, I just wanted to prove to the public that we can have a nice looking golf course and we don't have to subsidize it through utility arrangements. We're going to have to a little bit, but this past year is an average of about 500, 600,000 what we subsidize the golf course. That's historic. So I just left it out this year to just kind of play with the number. And nobody really picked it up. I mean, I did it for a reason. And it's, we can brag about it now. It's the golf course is sustaining itself. In the next couple of months, we'll find out. But I don't think we're going to have to transfer maybe 150,000, 125,000. So, and that is, you show me another golf course and stay looking on it rather than eating yard.
Hey, do you anticipate, with the new system coming in, like, does that help with, repair costs? Does that help with repair costs, water?
Well, the aesthetics of the course itself is what's going to help. And what I've been noticing, more people are talking about it in a more positive way. I'm going to go ahead and let Matthew here in a minute talk about some good positive stuff. But I think you're going to see more people coming out and playing just because it's prettier. Maybe different.
So I've seen this on some previous minutes, and within the last 6 months, let's call it, I went out and got Willow Tree, I got Elkhart, Dumas, Hugoton, Buffalo Dunes. Some of these are the apples to apples. It's debatable. But I just try to get like regionally speaking costs. Mariah Hills out of Dodge City. You got Lamar on here, Boiling Springs and Woodward Canadian, and grabbed one out of Fort Hays, Hays in Kansas. And we're middle of the pack. So I mean, I think that there's certainly some room to. I'll share this with you guys. I didn't have the opportunity to print it today, but there's definitely. I don't think we would be wildly out of place to increase our fees.
It's a reason.
Yeah, reasonably, a 5% for increase or something in that realm. What's your guys' take on
I
it?
think what they proposed looks good. I mean, especially, we were telling Matthew when he walked in, the course is in the best shape it's been in years. The greens are the prettiest they've been in a long time. It's because we have good water on them. His maintenance job is getting a little easier. It's going to get busier with more grass to mow, but we have a gym for a golf course. The golf courses Brian mentioned, some of those probably a little nicer than ours, some of them not as nice. So be middle of the road, we're right in there, so I think it's pretty reasonable.
And we were fortunate to have somebody to put in an irrigation system, and which is just going to, like you said, it is going to set up a little. And but there again, I'll just let Matthew talk on that when it comes time to talk on it a little bit. So overall, I think the golf course this year, even though we're just going into budget now, I'm real comfortable with the numbers that I've seen here right now. So, but I just needed to bring the fees, the membership fees and stuff before you kind of get your take on it before I get right into it. And it's not going to be crazy. We're not going to go 30, 40, 50%, whatever like that.
Right. I mean, I
We'll
just,
make it scientific.
it just,
We'll justify it.
And I guess my question is there a number out there of how many people, like Seaboard, we have ours payroll deducted. I never see it, don't worry about it.
There you go.
So, it's money I don't see and I don't per se spend because it's invisible. So,
Exactly.
how many companies offer that, and do we push that hard enough for those
Yeah,
employees?
that's a good point. Do we push it? Yeah, we don't. And that's something I think it can help us while the bill, if we start bragging about ourselves and advertising, our course. So maybe pushing that in a package deal or something like that. So market it. We have to market it. I don't care if it's.
What's our
selling hot
membership
dogs or
numbers?
Selling golf balls, you're gonna have to
I
market.
honestly don't know right now.
And I'll be honest.
That would be a
with you,
Jeff question.
so-
They told us a couple of meetings, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I would assume we're probably right around 200.
Do you know the membership numbers?
Normally where we're at. Yeah, that would be a Jeff question.
I think 200 sounds, Jeff mentioned it a meeting or two ago, and I think that was around 200 was pretty close.
Yeah, that's normally where
But
we
it-
float around.
Going out there, we have enough new people playing golf. A lot of people, I don't even know them. And by keeping the fees reasonable like this, if we can get them to be, because that's where our gravy is get the paid membership. That's guaranteed income. If it rains every day through the summer and snows every day through the winter, they're still paying their membership. So it's, I think they're in a good spot to maybe have 300 members next year.
If we can get the membership up at the rates they're at now, we'd be in good shape. I was wondering, thinking about maybe waiting a year after they see what the course looks like. Because I'm with him, I've seen people out there that I've never seen before, and I play just about every day.
I got to playing with some numbers the other day. I mean, what it costs per day as it's budgeted out, we have to come up with $3,500 a day. Putting the numbers together, the first 9 months, we're at $3,200 a day. So, hey, we must be doing something. I mean, what's, well, $300 a day is not money, but that's pretty complicated. So, for something that needed to be subsidized for a long time. So, you're right, our numbers are up. We're doing something right. We just need to say it. We'll put together a package, staff will, on this membership, and run it by you. Can we run by you for
Yeah, the only thing that I see is maybe a little cautious thing is that, so we offer the plan where if you buy a year membership in July, it's good till next July. So you know, we might have a small portion of our membership numbers that don't get that increase until later in the year next year or even that following year because they've technically already paid.
Sure.
And, you know, unless you want to make, you know, a special something. That's, I mean, you get what I'm saying?
Way it used to always be is you paid the full year in January, and then if you wanted to wait till July, you paid half a year. And that way, the next year is going into that year's income. It kept like, that's the way it used to be. You couldn't buy a full year membership in July, you just bought a 6 month.
I thought it went January to January.
Yeah.
It goes year to year now, but it's at the purchase. That, like, if you purchase it in October, it's supposed to be good until next October.
But how much of an opportunity would it be if, okay, hypothetically, we had somebody want to join in March and just break it out from March to prorated? That way, everybody's due January.
Well, I made a call the other night, had a young man came in, paid for a year. He's a construction worker, he loved to play golf.
Oh, wow.
He went, oh, they're transferring. And I come in, we
Yeah.
prorated the rest of the year. I said, you know, we do stuff like that. So, his check went like that.
Hey, yes, sir. Can I call you back?
No, I
Like I said,
think,
we'll bring that proposal back to you next week.
I mean, I think that at minimum, just pure business response is that inflation.
Absolutely.
You have to. You can either hold out for a long time and hit people with a huge increase and get complaints, or you can systematically increase. Kind of has to happen. No one likes it, but fuel goes up. I'm sure that everyone has the opportunity to get a raise every year, things of that nature.
Well said. Well, I think
So you're
still
gonna,
needs a lot to be done out there. We're headed right.
It is. It's so good right now, and it's going to get. I told Matthew in 2 years it's going to be even better. You know, give those sprinkler system time to get everything established. I'm tickled to death with what it is right now. It's nice out there.
I mean, I think you kind of already hit on it, but just as long as we get notification before it happens and we can do a little bit of advocacy, that's my only personal request, so that we,
Yeah, because
We're in
we
the
can all
know.
read about it in the guy in complaints section of Facebook.
yeah. It's easier on the front end than it is on the back end, I guess.
The keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
I love it.
You guys have anything else on golf fees before we move on? No. All right, let's move to number 6 and get an update on the irrigation system.
Matthew.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start if there's any questions or, for the most part, everything's done. All the sprinklers are working, the new system's up. We've been on 5 or 6 days now of the central computer running the show from start to finish. The weather station's up. We're pretty much in full command, ready to go. I don't know, I guess our projected watering time roughly right now is from 8 to 8, but from, say, a little after 6 in the morning until 8 in the morning when we're finishing is mainly just all the stuff up around the clubhouse. So on course watering from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. and we're done. I can move that around or whatever, if I wanted to make it go from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. or whatever, there's definitely ways that we can move the times and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, everything's up and running and ready to go. The only thing is that, if you ask me what sprinkler head comes on at 8 p.m. right now, I really have no idea. So it's not like it was when men's league starts and the water's going to come on 17 and number 8 or whatever. I haven't really looked into it because all I do is just put the stations in there with the start times, and the computer builds the best projected scan to water. So it ranges kind of just all over the place, instead of seeing 3 to 4 sprinklers in a row being on a fairway. There'll be 10 heads on that are just all around the course, one here, and so I'm not really sure yet because I haven't really looked into it about besides the times of what all goes, but yeah, just gonna take some time to figure out which heads working when and stuff like that.
Quick question. When you said weather station,
So right by the parking lot, there's that little weather station. I don't really know how to describe it, but yeah, so it's supposed to read your temperature, wind speed, humidity level. There's a couple other things I'm not sure, but I can set it up to give me a reading every 5 minute or every hour or whatever time I choose, and yeah,
so
it's
that goes
just
into what,
kinda-
that would affect
it
your
goes-
watering schedule.
It goes from the weather station directly to the central home computer thing, and then that's what runs the
Decides
wall.
what needs to be watered.
Right.
Does it take into account rain? Does it
Yes.
shut the system down if it rains?
I still need to set that up. I'm not exactly sure what the gauge is, but I'm pretty sure, like if it rains over an inch or something, that it will shut itself off.
That's
Is that-
awesome.
Is that available for public knowledge, or like to stream it
that?
somewhere that anybody could log in and look and see what's doing at the golf course?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably don't want
We
that.
don't
Like a
want, we
weather
don't want them to have
station.
access to it.
Well, like
we
if
saw
you're
what
out of
happened to
town
the
or
well
something
house.
like that, you're just like, well,
I mean, I can check it on my phone,
right.
but
Well, anyway,
yeah.
you know.
Could they put it on your website?
Interesting.
To get
I think that's not a bad question. Sure, there's something we can pick out of there. I like to just flood people with information.
Well, I mean,
correct information.
with your
It sure
marketing.
helps on the backside. We'll look into that.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying, I'm just saying, like, if I was out of town and I was like, well, hey, I think I'm gonna go play in Guyman today, I'm gonna drive 2 hours, because that happens, believe it or not. Somebody might wanna know what our rainfall totals have been, or if you're married to a farmer, they always like to know how much it's rained anywhere in the town, so, anyway.
I'll-
Nothing that, maybe just something on the marketing side of things that you could put out there.
If the technology could put out with something.
Well,
yeah, I'll have to look.
Also
into
for a
that.
database for the city, to promote the city, because everybody's, Guyman's so hot in the summer, and it's so cold in the winter, and the wind blows 50 miles an hour. If you took that database and proved, I mean, on an average, it's not that bad. But you'd have a 12-month average, what the average is, the wind speed on an average, the temperature, not a bad thing.
I mean, I'm sure we probably have that, I'm just saying, like,
Well, if you can get it on your
yeah,
phone,
the golf
they
course,
could hook it up to
anyway.
Yeah.
their website.
Yeah, they probably could. They could probably just pull it from the computer.
Yeah.
Since the IT dude's hooked
I
up to the
think it'd be a
computer, I
good
bet you
idea
can
to
just get it
have it
off of
on
there.
I think the most important thing, and Matthew and I were talking about that the other day, we're all in the conservation mode, and that's basically why I pushed this project, was the conservation of the water itself. Preliminary estimates right now, we're saving about 100 gallons a minute. That is something you don't sure need to be clean.
Absolutely.
And it's just only going to get better by the time the weather station does all of what it needs to do, take the samples. I mean, that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's saying, okay, this water, the ambient temperature, the whole thing, it's just putting on the water that it needs.
Yeah.
But the preliminary stuff right now, and that's why I want that meter read every morning, is, it's already 100 gallons.
Yeah.
That's big, that's huge. So, that's a win.
Yeah. I did figure out on there that it will tell me like the exact amount of water usage per
Yeah.
cycle. So I can
Well, I
put
see
it
that
in.
at the beginning, that's what we do here at the city. I mean, we have our water wells, we have a gauge here that going into your house, we can back and forth.
Right.
We try to keep that about 18% less. If there's gonna be water leaking.
Yeah.
But this shouldn't happen.
No, it's pretty cool though. I can even go in and like if I want to, turn my fairways up for 4 minutes a piece or whatever, I can plug all the stuff in there and then hit the projected flow and it'll recalibrate the amount of water that it's projected to use that night. So you can get some pretty accurate numbers.
And you don't have to even, I mean, your days of fixing leaks are maybe gone for a little while.
What are you gonna do with your time?
Hopefully grow some more grass at home.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
It'll be going, and it's going to create more activity and more machinery purchases, so, yeah.
But you're also not sitting at a D station, turning it on, waiting for the time to go down and then turn it back off and go to the next one.
Yeah.
You've eliminated all that, so.
So I jotted a couple of notes / requests here, one of which is, and this comes from the world I work in, probably, but record keeping. I'd like to see some kind of policy on how you guys are gonna make sure that the system, you have good records of how it exists today, and anytime there's a change, you track those records.
You mean like the irrigation layout?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I have, we have
So that
all
was,
that.
you would
Here's
agree
all
that that was the
GPS
problem with
plan.
the
Yes,
previous
it's-
system, is that no one really,
Yeah, knew where.
someone probably knew, Jerry probably knew.
Right.
But the sprinkler system belongs to the city and should not exist only in the head of one of the employees. It should be on paper and tracked, and there should be a policy about making changes and tracking those changes so that the system can be handed between different staff as people.
Well, this part of the contract, I mean, everything's GPS shot, I mean, it's all that you do, but I can't all of them.
So if Matt goes out and makes changes because he has a wall of hair about bringing up an empty box, and then Matt decides to leave in 4 years and nobody knows how it went in except for Matt. That's kind of what I'm getting at there.
Right.
And that's, you guys can do it however you want. I'm not gonna get too far into that, but it is something that
That's
needs to be
something, yeah.
addressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then the spares, just asking out of curiosity, spares and plans for redundancy as the new system sits, if anything fails, is there spare parts?
Some, it just kind of depends what you're talking about. Obviously, if there's any like mainline damage or something that has to be done besides just like where the sprinkler part attaches, that's either going to have to be contracted out or another city maybe handle that because we don't have the equipment and stuff to fuse pipe together.
Sure. Okay. It'd be
But
it'd
yeah,
be something
I
to
mean
consider
the
if
city
you guys
does,
build
but
the budget.
yeah.
Okay.
But hopefully that won't be an issue for 20 to 30 years or whatever because it was, I mean, it was supposed to be done right.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I hear you. Okay. That was my 2 notes though. It's exciting. I agree that the greens, just a mimic. I played 2 weeks ago and the greens are as good as I've ever seen them.
Yeah.
I can't wait till next spring.
Yeah, it should be.
Start from scratch, right out of there.
Well, some of the fairways are even improving, 5 especially.
Yeah, it's
Where
still back
usually
in.
just
14.
Yeah.
dead, it's filling in and it's filling in fast.
So,
12 is getting better in that one spot, 2 and 12,
2 and 14.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions, concerns, comments, otherwise on irrigation? That was one of the big selling points was water conservation, so reporting on that would be, win a lot of hearts and minds, hopefully. Okay, board and staff comments.
Have you all been introduced to Mrs. Clevenger yet?
I think,
Um,
I thought she has. Go ahead, let's do it again.
I'm Ginger Clevenger. I don't know if you can hear that. Coco, am I right? Ginger Clevenger. I come from Del Mar, Texas, and serving as assistant city manager, and also taking a look at your golf course fees with Mike. And so I think things look good. And I would be right on par with what you're saying, and I look forward to helping improve things. So anyway, if y'all have questions for me, feel free to ask. So, I know Jamie, I met her, I know Matt, a few faces, but other than that, yep. Thank you, Ursula.
I
Appreciate
think Ms.
it.
Clevenger is going to be a great asset to the organization. And I'll just be honest with you, it's been hard finding somebody, and I think possibly we might find the right person. So that, hey, first you've heard that.
Thank y'all. If you have any
Thank you,
questions,
Jennifer. I'll always call her Jennifer.
I'll answer
Ginger.
almost anything.
Well, we're still on comments. I'd like to there again, give Matt and his crew a pat on the back. They spent a lot of hours out there during the process of putting the irrigation system in, helping out, taking care of it now that it's running. They're doing a fantastic job at the golf course. I mean, proud of the guys that work out there.
I was impressed by the workers that were there.
They got
knew
after
what
it.
they were
didn't
doing.
Yeah.
They cleaned up their mess. They had it where we weren't
Pretty
down, for weeks on the
Yep.
things. They did a good job, I
Bounced
felt.
everything out pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I was pleasantly surprised as well because, I didn't really know what to expect, and they just got right on it.
You definitely have good crew.
Yeah, it was definitely
Construction crew,
a
yeah.
great learning experience for me, so I was more than pleased to get to be a part of that just for life knowledge and stuff like that.
Well, they brought in a guy from St. Louis that did some mapping out there.
From Iowa?
Or Iowa, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
We played golf with him one night.
Pete?
Yeah, and he was commenting on, he's worked with this group before. He says they're the best group he's ever worked with. That they know what they're doing, they don't make a mess, and when they finish a job, it's done.
Good. I mean, are there any complaints? Anything that needs to be cleaned up or set right with that group? Not that the board's gonna help you, but
Sick Larry on them.
just generally pretty
Yeah.
happy.
The other Larry?
I'm sure you deal with contractors all the time, but just making sure you're keeping them
Yeah,
honest.
this was a good group to deal with, really. I mean, they stayed in constant communication with us. There wasn't any surprises.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
That's amazing.
that's always good.
It's pretty good when you're plowing through a irrigation system where you
Where
don't know
nobody
where
knows
it is. Yeah,
anything's at.
it's pretty
Yep.
good.
There was some good guesses that happened during the whole project.
Take you out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you
Take you out.
got no gray hairs.
Yeah, there was.
Nobody gray hairs.
I have gray hair. Come over here and take a peek. I bet you there's more than you think.
Just remains your
I
friend.
was getting worried about your first project.
It wasn't that bad, was it?
Look at that.
You know,
It's always easier on the backside.
Yeah, it's easier when it's done.
Yeah, man. You and Jeff, everybody handled it great.
Mike, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, thank the council
Yes.
for approving this, project. I know if you're not a golfer, if you're not, I know it's hard to understand, but it's just like if you're not a hunter, not a fisherman, or if you don't do, certain things, you can't understand, but I feel like the golf course is a huge asset to our town, as far as bringing businesses in, bringing people, people that are going to move here or whatever, or looking to move here or bring business here, that that we have a golf course. It's a growing sport, nationwide, universally, whatever, worldwide, I feel. But we really appreciate that because I think we do have a diamond in the rough out there. And I'm being from the golf standard or golf world, I shouldn't say standard, but when you go and you play you've got to go play other courses to understand what we have here. And I think there are a lot of people that do, and a lot of people that come in, they understand that we do have a nice course and a nice facility, and hopefully we can continue to grow on that and keep it in the best shape that we can in that investment. But thank you very much for your interest in that.
Yeah.
It was a long time coming.
oh, we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's great. I'd just like to really point out that the extra $54,000 that council got approved for us to do those dual heads is really going to make the world a difference. Might not really seem like it, but it's going to be night and day having those dual heads around all the greens like that.
And I think that's where you learned a little bit too, when you come to management and explain everything, it's a no-brainer for management. I mean, as you look down the road 10, 15, 20 years like we do. So, yeah, we all learned, and I'm glad we did that. That was a no-brainer. It was going to happen. Well, I said, if it's in there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up, and you did well.
All right. Going once, going twice. Any other comments? Thought I entertain a motion for adjournment.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
No one always wins.
Oh, by having those dual head, you can miss those greens on the 105-degree days with 50-mile-an-hour wind without getting the tall grass over water. I mean,
That, and I can maybe just use one head instead of all 8 being on at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if
Well,
I
I've
catch
seen
the right
that.
wind direction, I can just turn one head on and water the whole green.
Yeah, I've seen that when we've been out there playing, just the one head. You go, putt, you see where it is.
Just about, huh?
Luke, how's it going? That's the crap of all this.
Well, like I say, the course is coming around quicker than I thought it would even. Like I said, those fairways are filling in, the greens are just, we played yesterday, those greens are fantastic.
Yeah, I saw
Probably rolling up.
They haven't put it that well in a long time.
There's plenty.
I'm blaming my bad putting skills on your good greens now. I'm used to putting those rough ones.